Welcome back to Winners and Losers, and would you believe it? It's the international break and we're still doing it. What on earth is going on? Christopher Hamill is in the hot seat. Christopher, who are our first winners?
Our first winners are Belgium. These were suggested by @Rajiv as they confirm their place at the 2018 World Cup in Russia with a 4-3 thriller, Joseph.
Yes.
Over Bosnia.
Ooh.
Now, unsurprisingly, Belgium were dominant with 65% possession, 22 shots with 11 coming on target. So deadly, as you'd expect with that forward line up top, ultimately converting 4. Now, Belgium haven't lost a World Cup qualifier since 2009, scoring 57 goals and only conceding 10. So an extremely entertaining team to watch. Now, this is the only World Cup qualifier for 2018 in which Belgium have conceded more than 1 goal. So
Solid.
Maybe Bobby Martinez can put a defence together. Or maybe his lack of involvement on a day-to-day basis with the likes of Vertonghen and Alderweireld, who play under Pochettino, is a large part to play. Now, Belgium, as we all know, have been unreal on paper for quite some time. Probably have the best defensive unit of a European side with Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Vermaelen, who's obviously been in and out of that Roma team with a lot of injuries, and Thomas Meunier, who's playing out of his skin at the moment, assisting or scoring, I think, in his last 9 international games. Don't quote me. They probably have the best attacking unit as well in the informed Dries Mertens. Obviously, you've got Lukaku, who didn't start in this game. Batshuayi started.
Eden Hazard.
Yeah, Eden Hazard. So, guys, what do you think? Are they the best equipped team from Europe to win the World Cup? Let us know in the poll just above. But Joseph, you're going to talk about individuals.
Yes, I am. Obviously, you talked a little bit about the defence there, and 2 of the defenders are standouts. Jan Vertonghen actually became Belgium's most capped player on Friday night against Bosnia. But the man at right back, Thomas Meunier, you mentioned him briefly there. You were in fact correct. He has actually been involved in 9 of Belgium's last 12 goals.
Would you look at that?
Seriously unbelievable stuff. In fact, in qualifying, he's got 5 goals and 7 assists from right back. The guy has been on absolute...
He's a brick. He
100% is. And then going forward, Eden Hazard, electric as ever. He's as good for Belgium as he is for Chelsea. In fact, since 2015, 19 starts, 10 goals, 10 assists. It doesn't get much better than that on the international stage. Without Lukaku, there were some questions as whether Batshuayi could fill the hole, but he stepped up. That was his first start for Belgium and obviously his first goal. However, when he's come off the bench, he's had 11 caps, 299 minutes he's had for Belgium off the bench, and he's scored 4 goals, which means he's scoring a goal every 75 minutes for the Red Devils. Really, really impressive. One negative on the night though, Marouane Fellaini. I never thought I'd say it, ladies and gentlemen, but it's a disaster. Looks like he's damaged his knee ligaments. Could be out for estimates vary between 3 and 12 weeks, which is a long gap in there. But equally, that's a big loss for Manchester United, especially with Paul Pogba sidelined.
How have you brought this back round to Manchester United? It's just the God-given talent of yours, isn't it?
Mate. It is.
It's a curse, if anything.
But yeah, not good.
Do you think what games have you got coming up?
Liverpool on Saturday.
It's going to be a big loss.
Big loss for the Liverpool game. Arguably, some might say Ander Herrera would have started in midfield anyway. Bit of energy in there and done a real job on Felipe Coutinho. But I'm pretty sure that Fellaini would have started with his physicality in that Mourinho team.
Especially given how suspect that defence is from set pieces.
100%.
He could have caused him some damage, couldn't he, fella?
But fingers crossed he's not out for too long. But as ever, voting Chris's poll, I've forgotten what it was, but it'll be on screen up there somewhere. Thanks for watching. That's not the end of the show. Next section.
Our first losers come from @Stephen Parry, and he thinks Italy deserved to be in the bid. Mamma mia, Giuseppe, what happened?
Oh dear. 1-1 at home at the Stadio Olimpico to Macedonia. This is actually one of the worst results in Italian football history, according to some of the Italian media outlets.
Wow.
86 ranks below them, Macedonia are in the FIFA rankings. Not that the FIFA rankings count for too much. But this effectively means that the Italians will have to go into the World Cup via the playoffs. Obviously, Spain topping their group after another win for España. The Italians actually play a pretty strong squad here as well. Chiellini, Bonucci, Barzagli all play at the back. Insigne was also in the starting 11. A couple of debuts for the likes of Verdi and Gagliardini. But Macedonia somehow nicked a point, despite the fact the Italians had 57% possession, 9 shots, but just 3 on target. That cutting edge, as ever for the Italians, looks a bit suspect. We have often talked about their lack of a clinical striker, haven't we? And with the lad from Torino, what's his name? I'm blanking. Belotti out injured. That could be a problem leading up to the World Cup. Hamster, tell us a little bit more about the game.
Well, yes, the Macedonians appear to be the Italians' booby side, as they only just edged them out 3-2 when they played them prior back in 2016. And as you intimated, Italy will now have to play either Denmark or Portugal in a World Cup second round qualifying match.
Good.
Imagine that. Imagine no Portugal, no Italy, no Holland, no Argentina at the World Cup.
No Ronaldo, no Messi.
It'd be absolutely insane. The mind boggles, but it looks like Portugal in the top of their group. So Italy will no doubt be playing the Scandinavians, who are in decent form.
Tasty
so
touch.
That will be a very good game. Now, questions are being asked of Ventura as to why Jorginho wasn't in the squad. The Napoli metronome, who occupies 9 of the top 10 places for most touches in a Serie A game, and 9 of the top 10 places for most passes completed in a Serie A game.
That's insane.
He has been pulling the strings for Sarri for a long time now. And I saw an interview of late where he said he's not in the squad due to technical reasons. This is probably the most technical player in Serie A.
To be honest though, you do have to say, can he fit him and Verratti into one system?
Ultimately not my job to you know, not my problem to work out. I do understand the point you're making. Both have very similar skill sets, but Unai Emery's actually said this season that he wants Verratti to get forward more. And he's encouraging him to contribute further up the field. So if he does that for the national side, then maybe there is space for Jorginho. Either way, I think you work out a way for both of those players to make it into the team. Now, if Ventura fails to reach the World Cup with Italy, he'll be the first manager since 1958 to do so.
Shocking.
With the Azzurri. So he'll be hoping that it's Denmark, quite frankly.
Yeah, 100%.
Tough group in the first instance, as you said, against Spain. What do you think, guys? Will Italy make it? Let us know in the comments below.
Our next winner is another Premier League star, but it's not Harry Kane, it's Alex Iwobi, and this one comes from Josh Murray on Twitter, Hamster.
Yes, had a lot of shouts for Iwobi as he scored the winner over a stubborn Zambia to send Nigeria to Russia 2018, the first African nation to do so. So a huge congratulations to them. They have now qualified for 6 of the last 7 World Cups since their debut in 1994. An extremely impressive record from the Super Eagles. Now, it was a tight game between the two. Nigeria actually had less possession and less shots than Chipolo Polo, their Zambian counterparts,
nickname,
who edged them with 12 attempts on goal. Now, Iwobi, who obviously started his career in the England setup, chose to represent Nigeria about 2 years ago and has made 11 caps since then. I guarantee this will be the one that sticks out in the memory thus far in his short international career. This is his second goal for Nigeria, the first also coming against Zambia. So, you know,
stats.
Facts. Joe, Group B. It was the group of death, wasn't it? They've done well.
Yeah, it was the group of death. There was some really, really tough competition in there. Obviously, you had Zambia, who won the 2012 AFCON. You also had Cameroon, the current holders of the African Cup of Nations, and Zach's very own Algeria. Not a happy bunny that they bombed out of the World Cup, but the Super Eagles' home record is imperious. They have never lost a World Cup qualifier at home, and they are comfortably at the top of that group. 13 points they've got. That's 6 points clear. The Nigeria team, full of familiar faces. You've got the likes of Kelechi Iheanacho at Leicester. Can't get a game there, but never mind. Ola Aina, Victor Moses. You've got John Obi Mikel. You've got Alex Iwobi, and maybe Tammy Abraham in the future if he chooses to join the Super Eagles. But they're through to the World Cup 2018. That's the important thing, and I'm sure their fans will be absolutely buzzing about it.
Our next losers come from Thomas Roberts 2 on Twitter, and he suggested the Netherlands after their World Cup ambition was turned to pulp. Juice.
Dear, what to say about the Netherlands? This is one of football's most revolutionary nations, and they are set to miss out on their second major tournament in a row. That's the first time that's happened since 1986. Of course, they missed out on Euro 2016 as well. This is a nation that have been runners-up in the World Cup 3 times, and they sit third in Group A behind the incredible France and the fairly average Sweden. Yes, they might have beaten Belarus 3-1, but what they weren't expecting was Sweden to absolutely pulverise Luxembourg 8-0. In fact, Dick Advocat came out publicly to say there's no way Sweden are going to win 8-0. That one came back to bite you. They're now 12 behind in terms of goal difference, and they meet Sweden in the next game in a winner-takes-all. Well, Sweden are basically going to take it all scenario. Holland would need to win the game 7-0 to qualify. That, my friend, is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Although I could be doing a Dick Advocat there and putting my foot right in it.
Or Sweden to lose 7-0.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sweden have looked pretty impressive despite you labelling them as mediocre. And they smashed Luxembourg 8-0, didn't they? I think Berg got 4. Mikael Lustig keeps getting on the score sheet for Sweden. The old Celtic right back. Not sure how that's happening at international level. But yes, they are running high on confidence, having won 4 of their last 5 games.
Impressive.
So the Scandies are bang in form. They've netted 12 goals actually without reply in their last 2 fixtures, highlighting their attacking prowess. Now, more than the sum of their parts, Sweden.
Yes, especially without Zlatan.
Exactly. But in this game, they had 22 shots, with 14 of those coming on target against Luxembourg. So this could have actually, they could have done Dick Advocat a favour and surpassed that 8-0 scoreline. It's Sweden's biggest victory since 1938.
Wow.
Pre-war But yes, as I said, Alain striker Marcus Berg was banging form. Actually scored against Celtic a couple of years ago in the Europa League. Arse-hole. That was his 50th international goal, quite the landmark, with Andreas Granqvist with a brace. Is he the ex-Prem player?
No, can't be. Can't be. He'd be about 48.
Yeah, that was when he used to play for Southampton, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Don't know. Could have ballsed at both of those points. Anyway, but yes, Sweden can actually take advantage and go top if France drop points. Otherwise, they'll have to settle for a place in the playoffs to gain a spot in the finals. Now, they'll be happy with that, given the outlook of this group from the off. Do you think Sweden are going to qualify? Let us know in the comments below.
Our next winners, somehow, is England, but more importantly, it's kind of Harry Kane.
The Hurricane, my friend.
This one comes from Cody.
Nice one, Cody. I didn't watch the game.
Who did?
After I watched the Slovakia game, I just couldn't bring myself to do it again. But apparently, they won 1-0, thus qualifying for the World Cup unbeaten, similar to that of Roy's qualifying campaign.
Boring.
So, you know, let's take that with a pinch of salt. 8 wins, 2 draws, 18 goals, only 3 conceded. On a positive note, the only teams to qualify with more points were Germany and Switzerland on 28 and 27 respectively, although they probably had much harder groups. Our draw, extremely favourable.
Ridiculously
Extremely, but we play boring football, don't we? It's like LVG's Bayern Munich. I think we're averaging 70% possession in most of our international games, at least the last 2 anyway, but we only scored 2 goals and were roundly booed by our own fans who cheered a paper aeroplane going into the goal. So God bless those who went to Wembley the other night. But Southgate, positive as ever. We are not going to become Spain in 8 months. No, because to become a country like Spain or Germany, you need a 10 or 15-year plan. And after, you know, the whole England setup was overhauled and they built St George's, I'm yet to see the ramifications of that, although the under-17s do look good. So maybe we'll be decent in about 5 years' time.
Probably
but still,
not.
At least Tottenham is becoming a breeding ground for young English talent. It's our only saving grace. Thank you, Mauricio.
Yeah, I mean, England aren't really in our winners. In fact, they should probably be in our losers for the football we play. But Tottenham kind of could be in the winners. In fact, 9 of England's last 11 goals have been scored by Tottenham players. And in fact, of England's last 29 debutants, 15 have come from playing under Mauricio Pochettino.
One of those was Ryan Mason, though.
Pochettino, incredible form, and so is Harry Kane. Harry Kane has 12 goals in his last 23 international games. He's got 15 in his last 10 in all competitions and has 43 goals in 37 appearances for Spurs and England in 2017. Only 4 of them have come from the penalty spot. The guy is in incredible form. But it doesn't matter, because when we get to the World Cup, he'll be taking free kicks from 45 yards and he'll be on corner duty and will be smashed out at the group with him not scoring a goal. Unsurprisingly, useless. Useless. Put him in the losers now. Screw you, Gareth Southgate.
Our last losers come from @Brody Valonians, and he's gone down under on the Aussies.
Oh dear. The Australians limped to a 1-1 draw with potentially the biggest underdogs ever to make it to a World Cup, Syria, on Thursday night. Of course, Robbie Cruz managed to get on the score sheet. That was his first international goal since 2015. But
great name.
A late penalty from Syria's talisman, Omar Al-Samar, of course, the man who scored the equaliser against Iran to put them through to the playoffs in the first place, levelled the match. He's now got 2 in 2. Syria in incredible form, 7 matches unbeaten, their best run since 2015, and what a time to do it. Almost everybody is backing Syria. We all want them to scrape through against those Aussies.
Well, they've been playing their home games 5,000 miles away from Syria in Malaysia, haven't they? They've got all funding. Politics has sunk its teeth into this underdog like an unwanted parasite. They've got everything going against them, but they could still yet qualify. That is the magic of World Cup qualification coming to the fore. But let me talk about Australia, who've now failed to win in 5 consecutive away games in qualification, their worst record since joining the Asian Confederation. Now, the Socceroos, as you'd expect, dominated possession with 66%, but managed 14 shots. Syria had 16.
On the break, mate.
That. Every time they got on the ball,
counter-attack,
they were testing the Australian goalkeeper out. Who was it?
Dunno, mate.
No one knows.
It might have been, what's his name, Brett Jones?
Now, were the Socceroos a little bit unlucky? Yes. Tommy Juric hit the post twice in a matter of seconds in the second half, denying him his 6th goal in qualification and keeping the score at 1-0 at that point. But who cares? Because Syria scored a penalty in the 85th minute. But I've got to say the decision was questionable.
A little bit dodgy.
But, you know, we'll just
brush right over there.
Push past it because we prefer the underdog narrative, don't we? But yeah, now the two sides face each other in a second leg in Sydney on Tuesday, and the winner of the tie will go into another 2-legged playoff with a CONCACAF side, basically guaranteeing them progress, maybe, because who is that CONCACAF side?
What is CONCACAF?
Let us know in the comments below.
What the CONCACAF? So that's all we've got time for today. But Hamster, what Instagram account should these people start following?
At FDFC_UK. The project is coming soon. We announced on Sunday Vibes that we plan to make a team. You watch us redefine the term average at best. Joseph, what's happening on FD?
Well, I believe FD. I don't know.
You know that channel you work on?
Just subscribe. I've forgotten. Thanks
Good
so
one.
much for watching. We'll catch you later. Who are the current African Cup of Nations holders?
Okay, I found this on the web for who are the current African Cup of Nations holders.